y'all, this background is different, this lighting is trash. It's okay in person, but I don't know why it's reflecting like super yellow on screen, so sorry about that. But I realized I want to kind of read some popular romance books. Like, that's kind of what I'm in the mood for. I have a feeling I kind of know like the next two books that I want to pick up, but right now currently I'm reading Wildfire by Hannah Grace, which is a very popular romance book, and Daydream by Hannah Grace is actually coming out in like a week or two. So I do want to get my hands on that. Definitely had to finish this one first before I jump into that one because it is kind of like an interconnected series. Basically, I just want to say that I love this book. I think it's amazing. I love a like camp, summer camp theme. That's like one of my biggest weaknesses. I feel like growing up as like a young adult, or when I would read young adult, those are the books that I would tend to like go towards because I just like that. I think it's fun. It's like the forced proximity of it all, and it's just like enjoyable, right? I like the people going to the lake, the activities, the friends, the drama, so that's a really big plus. And then the actual male main character in this book is so dreamy. He is so vulnerable, so sweet. He has his issues, his baggage, but the way he just communicates, I don't know, I just really really like him, and I'm liking this book so much. I'm like almost done with it. I have like this much left. I'm on page 325 out of like 360 maybe. So I am almost done, and I don't know what I'm gonna rate it just yet, but I am a really big fan, and I think the chemistry is great. It's there. I think their romance is believable because if you think about it, they're at summer camp. I think this takes place over the span of like 2 months. Like, that's how long the summer camp is. And if you're with someone for 24/7 for 2 months, like, you're definitely going to build an inseparable bond. So it does seem realistic to me. And like I mentioned, the male main character, I am so weak for it. He is just awesome. Like, this is one of my favorite male main characters in a romance book that I've read in a while. So that is definitely saying something. I'm definitely liking this book a lot better than Icebreaker, which is Hannah Grace's first book, but I liked that one too. I thought it was good. It was solid, but this one I'm like in love with. Like, I'm debating a 5 star. I don't feel like the emotional part of it is there because I don't like want to cry, and that's like something that I feel like is a requirement for 5 stars. But I am so enjoying this, and I definitely recommend this. If you didn't like or enjoy Icebreaker, maybe give this one a chance because I think this one is better. Get my little bookmark. It says grow your own way. But anyway, I am kind of feeling like I want to pick up like the Magnolia Parks universe, and that would be Daisy Hates the Great Undoing is the next book that I'm on. I'm currently reading Thrive, which is book like 6 in the Addicted series, so I can show you guys that and talk about that once I get home. That's why it's a bit of a different background because I'm not at my house. I'm at my, basically like my boyfriend's family's house. Like, we're staying here for the weekend, but we actually brought our camera, so I thought this was a great time to just pick up the camera and start the video. So I'm very excited for this because like I mentioned, I'm feeling Allie Hazelwood, I'm feeling Jessa Hastings, Kristen Becca Ritchie, like Hannah Grace, some of these amazingly popular, phenomenal, very talented authors. And yeah, very excited to do this video. I don't think I've ever done one like this before. I think this is a great way to kiss summer goodbye because it is kind of coming to an end if you think about it. I wanted to give you guys an update about Wildfire because it like I knew I was gonna like it because like I mentioned, the summer camp is already like top tier for me, but I actually really really love the characters and the actual bond that they have with each other. So yeah, I needed to talk about it. I needed to rant. So I'm gonna stop yapping now, and then that's it for today. Hello, I'm back home, and I wanted to give you guys a little reading update. Yesterday I actually finished Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and believe it or not, I ended up rating this 5 stars, which I think is a high rating, and some people are going to be like, what the heck, why? And I'll definitely go a lot more in depth in my like August wrap up, but essentially, I mean, this book is marketed as a smutty contemporary romance, right? And so obviously I feel like right off the bat, it's not going to be as good as like maybe a historical fiction or just a regular fiction book that's going to have tons of emotional depth and, you know, plot and story and all that good stuff, right? Like storytelling. So when I put like my expectations in line for this book and this type of book, then I think it was done really well. And on top of all of that, I did really love the male main character, which I said in the last clip. And yeah, I just kind of fell for this love story. And the summer camp romance setting, or like just the summer camp setting, is, I'm telling you, one of my favorite like settings ever. So obviously that gets bonus points. All in all, I gave this 5 stars. If you haven't read this book and you read Icebreaker and you weren't a big fan, I would say maybe give this one a chance, because I definitely enjoyed this one more. But anyway, this is all about romance books. I am still reading Thrive. I'm about 35% through, so that's about page 180. And yeah, I'm just kind of savoring this because, again, this is a series that is like top 2 for me, so I definitely just want to take my time and process everything that these characters do and say. But now, what am I going to read next? That's the question. I have these 2 books kind of on my TBR. This one, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, is on my official like August TBR that I picked at the beginning of this month. So this one I do want to read to get it off my TBR. But I also have Love Theoretically. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I'm going to read Love Theoretically within the next like 2 weeks, because this is my book club pick for like my local book club with my friends. But I don't know if I want to start it just yet, because there is about 3 weeks until we meet for that, and I kind of want to wait until like towards it gets closer to that date, so it's like more fresh in my mind when I do read it. So there's this one, but I'm also thinking about either Daisy Hates the Great Undoing or starting Heartless by Elsie Silver, which is the second book in the Chestnut Springs series, or this one. I feel like those 3 books are amazing picks, and I just don't know what to read next. Like, I'm really struggling between reading these top tier romance books. You can't get any more like romance than these, right? So these 2 I really want to read. This one's on my TBR. Oh, no way I've been holding it upside down this entire time. I think I want to go with Yours Truly. I don't know. I'm like scared to read this one because I already know it's going to be like a 6-star read for me, and I don't want to read this not knowing when the next Daisy Hates book is going to be out, if you feel me. This one, I want to read Chestnut Springs by the end of the year. This is book 2 out of, I don't even know how many books are in this series, maybe like 5 or 6. And I read Flawless last month, so this is still pretty like fresh in my memory. Yours Truly, I've read every other Abby Jimenez book except for this one and Just for the Summer, which came out this year, and I do own it, but I have to read this one first because I think they're standalones, but they're like interconnected a little bit, I think I'm gonna go with this one, which is really exciting because this one's super popular. So let's start Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Okay, I know I just started the book, like literally finished chapter 1 just now, but is there not going to be a meet cute? Like, I feel like Abby Jimenez is an icon for her meet cutes. Like, all her couples meet in this super cute way that's like totally random and unexpected. But like, I'm getting the vibe that these 2 who are going to be our main characters are coworkers already. So they kind of already know each other. I mean, unless they like run into each other mid-surgery, like how much cuter can that really get, you know? But other than that, I am proud to say this is an interconnected series because our character from Part of Your World, Alexis, is Brianna's best friend. So she's definitely a presence in this book, which is welcome, because I like that. I love when we see prior characters in other books. I love those little glimpses. But I mean, so far so good. I like the doctor setting. I like the hospital setting. And I love that our main character, Brianna, is Salvadorian. So she is Latina. I love that. I'm Latina. So I always love to see the representation in these books. I'm pretty sure Abby Jimenez is also Latina. So that's probably why. But I love to see it. And yeah, just going to continue reading this. I don't know how far I'll get into it, but I'll give you guys updates as I go on. Another day. Another reading update. So we are still reading Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I am now about, I don't even know the actual percent, but I am like 160 pages in. So I did some damage. The last time I spoke to you guys was actually yesterday, so that's how much damage I've done in the last less than 24 hours basically. I'm 40% through. So 40% through, really loving it. Like, it's already probably top 2 Abby Jimenez books for me, and I've read, I think, all but Just for the Summer. I really like it so far. Male main character Jacob suffers with anxiety, so I love the mental health representation. I think it's very refreshing and realistic. I mean, I'm obviously kind of late to reading this book, so I'm sure most of you guys know like what it's about and what it entails, but I thought it was very refreshing to see just a male main character being so secure and sure with himself about his mental health. Yeah, just the way it's being addressed. Again, love that Bree, which I now see people refer to her as Brianna. Bree is, you know, a Latina, so I love these like tropes or just areas where I feel like authors don't always, you know, focused on these like either minority characters or mental health issues. So I'm definitely loving that. Aside from that, the typical tropes, there's fake dating, there's workplace romance, tons of very popular romance book tropes, and I love that. Also, Jacob is literally probably the nicest and like most down to earth male character I've ever read about, besides like Archer from Archer's Voice, because I love him. But anyway, yeah, Jacob is literally doing something incredibly selfless for a stranger, basically. I don't want to give away spoilers, even though I'm like positive that people watching this have already read this book because it's so dang popular and I'm just that late to the train. But with that being said, I'm really, really enjoying it. I already know there's going to be like a gut punch, a slight plot twist, and some beautiful romance that comes out of it. There's also like letter writing, which I think is so cute. Like literally they're writing letters to each other. Like that is so cute, and I have not seen that in a romance book ever, I think. I don't think I've really ever read about that. So definitely loving it. I can't wait to read it, and I know it's going to be one of my favorite romance books probably. I feel like this month has already been a really good month for me because Wildfire, like I mentioned, loved that book. It was so good. I'm going to try to finish this one before I pick up the next romance book just so I can really focus on this, give you guys my thoughts, and then jump into the next one. But again, Thrive, I'm still reading Addicted series, so that's kind of on the back burner, but this is my main book, trying to finish this one before I pick up another romance read. Besides that, I did want to give the brief update that I'm literally going to go watch It Ends With Us today, like the movie by Colleen Hoover. I'm excited to see like what it is. Obviously there's like lots of drama and discourse of, you know, about like everything regarding this movie, like Lively, Justin Baldoni, like there's drama, right? But I kind of just am putting that aside and I just want to see like what the actual movie's going to be about, because I read the book maybe like 2-3 years ago now, like it was a while ago, and well I do remember it, but I definitely just want to see like what they kept from it, because I have heard that one scene, the magnet scene, if you know what I'm talking about, is not in the movie, and in my opinion that was a huge like monumental scene in the book with lots of effects. So like how are they just gonna take that out? But I'm sure they like adapted it in a way, so I don't know, we'll see. I'll take you guys along, or I'll just come back and do my review when I get home. Quick update, because it's 10 p.m. and I just got home from watching It Ends With Us, and now I want to read the book again because it was really good and it just reminded me of the original, like when I first read It Ends With Us. I feel like it was just so transformative for me and other readers, especially like into this booktok, booktube community. Like that book changed things, so I like want to read it again. Definitely watch the movie if you have or haven't read the book, because it was just so good. I went to Ulta, so I'm just show you guys real quick what I got. I got this lip balm, Ole Hendrickson, $22 lip balm. Then I got 2 things from this brand, Byoma, B-Y-O-M-A. I love this brand's packaging, like it's so cute. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go to bed because it's late. But I just wanted to come on here real quick and give my thoughts on the It Ends With Us movie. Jacob is like the dream book boyfriend. I'm so lucky that I've gotten to read about 2 like top tier male main characters with the last 2 books that I've read, being Wildfire by Hannah Grace and Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, because Russ and Jacob, perfect. Like they're perfect. I'm on page 276 out of like 400, or a little less than 400, so I'm making my progress, and I'm hoping to finish low-key today or maybe tomorrow. That way, even just saying that, I was like, wait a minute, like do I even want to finish, because it's so good and I definitely want to spend more time with these characters. Like this is already maybe top Tied for first so far for my favorite Abby Jimenez book. My favorite right now is Be Friend Zoned by Abby Jimenez, which is the first book in like her little interconnected series. And I really love that one. The only thing with that one that I can think about that I'm like, oh, it's kind of a big flaw is the miscommunication in that one is crazy. Like it's a lot. So this one can definitely take the cake if Jacob and Brianna end up together, basically, because they're perfect together and I want to see them together and I think they would make an amazing couple. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, but we'll see. So far so good though, and yours truly, I can see why it is such a popular and loved romance book because it is top tier. And these characters are amazing. You can tell Abby Jimenez has definitely gotten in her groove of writing like romance books because this one, I have no comment on like it being bad at all. So definitely heavily enjoying this. It's so good. Not the drunk confession of love. Like, that is so funny. Also, if you've read Part of Your World and you haven't read this book, Alexis and what the heck is the guy's name? I don't even remember the guy's name, but the main couple in that book are in this book. Not a lot, but they're in here and you can't miss them. So that's another good thing going for this book. I'm literally mad at myself for not annotating this book from the very beginning because listen to this. Even to just tell her that I loved her would be something. It seemed a waste to love her as much as I did without her ever knowing it. To be unaware that her very existence was my reason for smiling, for being happy to wake up in the morning. Jacob, what? Like, that is wild. I should have been annotating this whole time because Jacob, I'm telling you, is top tier, and if you have not read this book, you have to. So now I have my handy dandy highlighter here in case I see another bombshell quote like that I'm going to need to highlight so I can remember it for the rest of my life. Just finished Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Sorry, the lighting's all weird. My boyfriend's playing video games, so the screen is like changing. But all I gotta say is that's how you write a romance book. This book was beautiful and definitely my favorite Abby Jimenez book thus far. I'm very surprised I've had like multiple 5-star reads. Actually, the two books in this video were 5-star reads. So if you take anything away from this video is you have some new romance books to add to your TBR, but I'm sure you've probably read them because these came out like a year ago. So wow, that was so good. And like I mentioned, I couldn't help but annotate some stuff because it was just so good and one of a kind. Abby Jimenez, Take a Bow. This is beautiful, and now I can't wait to read Just for the Summer, which is her last book, or her latest book. I just haven't read it yet, so I do own it, but I'm gonna need some time to still digest and process this one before I jump into another Abby Jimenez book because they're all so good and they need their own little era. I'm gonna take the night to process this and think about it, and then we'll see what we read next. Good morning. It is Friday, 10:22 a.m. and I have to leave to go to work in a bit. Just wanted to catch up with you guys and show you like my current setup. So the clip that you guys just saw is me listening to a Spotify playlist that I found. I literally just looked up book reading music and it has a ton of regular, very popular music, but it's all instrumental, so no lyrics. So it really allows me at least to focus like on what I'm reading with like a nice little ambiance music in the background. So definitely recommend doing that if you guys haven't. And then I am reading Love Theoretically. I started this book yesterday because, again, in the romance mood, this is a very popular romance book that came out last year, so I want to start it, want to read it. Been on my TBR for a while, and coincidentally it is my book club pick of the month. I just started a little book club with my friends, and we chose this book to be our first book that we read. So a few of them have already read it, and I was like, wait, I forgot that I totally need to read this. So I have a few weeks until that. Definitely trying to finish this up soon. That way I can kind of share my final thoughts with you guys. But I'm only 80 pages in. I started yesterday, so I don't know. That's probably like less than 10% through. But so far, I do like it. This is my third Ali Hazelwood book, so I already am kind of used to her topics, the way she writes, and just like what she brings. Her books are so like unserious, but serious in a way. Like unserious in the terms that like the banter is great. Her main characters are always so funny and witty, and like their inner monologue is so just lighthearted and funny. The seriousness of it is that they are all like STEM female main characters, which I love that. They're all working in that field. In this book specifically, our main character's name is Elsie, and she is an adjunct professor at a college, and she's trying to become tenure, but also trying to get a research position at MIT, I believe, or something like that. But then she has to fake date on the side of her current job because I guess she works in academia. It's not cutting it. So she's like fake dating on the side. Basically, in this new job that she's like interviewing for and she genuinely wants to get, she runs into someone from her fake dating life, an acquaintance or a sibling, and it's gonna get messy because how is she gonna explain that? She had previously told this person that she was only a librarian, so obviously now they're like, why are you applying for this job if you're just a librarian? So it's a whole thing, but I actually really like it so far. I think the premise is entertaining, and like I mentioned, the banter and just inner monologue is so witty and fun. So definitely enjoying it so far. Those are my current thoughts. Don't have too many because like I mentioned, I'm only 80 pages in, but I'm gonna read here for a bit while I'm listening to my little instrumental book playlist and eating a yogurt. It's a mixed berry Oikos yogurt with some granola, and I always add chocolate chips because I love chocolate. Third book of the video completed. I finished Love Theoretically this morning actually, and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, and I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Basically, it was just really good. The banter was great. The romance was good. Jack, another really good main character, male main character. I honestly feel like the male main characters are stepping it up, and I realized I really like a soft, sweet male main character versus like a grumpy, mean one who like, I don't know, sometimes you see them like grumpy sunshine. I just am not a fan because I love when a man is like yearning for the girl or just super soft and sweet. Like that is my weakness. So that was definitely nice to see. It sheds a light on academia and everything that entails. It's sloppy, it's dirty, it's messy, but it was good. So definitely enjoyed it. Still reading Thrive. Haven't made much progress. I'm only like this much into it, so hoping I can finish it in this video, but I feel like 3 romance books in like a week and a half is actually really good, so I'm very impressed with myself, and so far they've been phenomenal. So I already know I'm going to want to do this video again because there's more newer romance books that I haven't read, so that's going to be entertaining and fun. But for now, I'm going to stick with this one for now until I can get it done. I'm literally matching it like perfectly. We're coordinating. That's the goal for the rest of the video. Hopefully I can finish this and then we can wrap it all up. But that's where I'm at with these 2.